Hey guys, welcome back to Yosemite. Today I'm going to hike the Upper Yosemite Falls up to Yosemite Point. It's been a kind of light snow winter so far, so this trail should be pretty accessible. It's late February, it's very quiet, and I'm hoping I'm going to have a good hike, so come along with me and let's see what the trail conditions are like. So for the first half a mile, it's all switchbacks, and they're pretty steep. As you can tell, I'm already working up a sweat, but I'm a bit out of shape. I haven't really done any big hikes for a little while, so yeah, it's good to get back into it and feel my heart racing again. But I've got a long way to go if I want to be doing the big trails in the summer. But you can just see this is where I am right now, and you can kind of make out with the rock work the switchbacks, and they go all the way up here, so it's relentlessly up, but it's so dry. Like last time I did this was covered in snow, so yeah, up I go. It seems a long way. Now this trail is pretty exposed. There is some trees in the lower part of the trail, but there's a lot of sections where it's very exposed. And in the summer, it gets very warm and very dry. So you'll notice in the early season, there's some waterfalls, just like this very light waterfalls, and you can filter water from there. But the trail itself isn't awash with water. So what I would suggest is maybe taking 4 litres per person, and then you'll be fine. But it's definitely not like the mist trail where you get all these rivers where you can replenish water. It's kind of here and then right at the top. Although when the snow is melting, you get a lot of like temporary streams and temporary rivers that won't be there in the peak of the summer. And this trail gets so hot, you've got to think the sun rises from the east and sets at the west. So here's North Dome, Half Dome, so here's Half Dome. And the sun's going to rise from over here. It's going to go this way throughout the day, and then it's going to set over here. So this trail gets beat with snow, which is why there's less, sorry, gets beat with sun, which is why there's less snow on this trail compared to, say, the 4-mile trail on the other side of the valley, where that is completely socked in until the snow melt really kicks in. 1 mile into the trail, so I've just reached what's known as Columbia Rock. So this is a point where people that don't want to hike the whole thing, this is a good spot to just come to if you want to just get up and see the valley from a bit higher, and obviously get a really cracking view of Half Dome as well. It's about a mile and it's pretty steep the whole way up. You can tell how unfit I am and also just how much I'm sweating. I mean, it's February and I'm in a t-shirt and I'm sweating, but it's amazing. I mean, look at this view of Half Dome. It's amazing. And you can actually see, oh, there's a little squirrel just running down there. So this is Camp 4 down here, which is like the traditional rock climbers campground. You can see here, this is Yosemite Lodge. So you can actually see the swimming pool there. That's closed in winter, but that's for use so that the guests of the lodge in the summer. You can see the amphitheatre from here as well. And then obviously you can see the bridges and walkways through the meadows, and then just down on this side here is where you'd find the visitor centre, the gift shop, and then just underneath Half Dome here you can see the Awani, and then Curry Village is off around this side. So it's a really, really good view of the valley. So if you can't make it all the way up, this is definitely a good spot to come to just to get an amazing view. And it's also a good spot to stop if you just want to have a break. As you can see, it's quite open here. There is railings, but you can sit on the rocks, and there's also some like sandy outcrops and stuff. And then eventually the trail, from my memory, goes like up this way, because the waterfall is actually between these two things. So it's through there that I'll be heading. So there's a long ways up yet. So this section is super sandy. I mean, in the past I've seen quite a few lizards up here when it's been warmer, but I guess it's still a bit too cold for them right now. Dang. More switchbacks. Dang. More steps. So after you get this exceptional view of Half Dome and the valley, you'll go through a very flat section, which is a massive relief after the climb up so far. And then you'll start to come into this very short section of descent. So basically you can just see from the trail, it sort of descends down and then it will start climbing up again. So it might look like you're going off trail a little bit, but don't worry, this is the trail. And there's again a little bit more water. Now the trail feels kind of reminiscent of when I did it in April 2023 after that record snowpack. And the trail was like a waterfall. You were basically just climbing up a waterfall. Not quite as bad as that, but there is a lot more water than I anticipated at the start of the journey. So I guess if you hike this in April or May this year, when that water is at its peak melt, that could be even more than what I just showed you. And I'm sure further up there'll be a lot more water as I get closer to the falls. So yeah, even if you're hiking this in a couple of months, hopefully this video will be of some use to you. Still heading down, and then eventually I'll about this valley, well, into this canyon, I guess, and then I'll start to see the waterfalls, which I'm very much looking forward to. Oh boy, I've just got my first glimpse of the falls, and it's only going to get better from here. Don't be distracted by the amazing view of Half Dome. Wow. What a shot. Obviously the view of Upper and Lower Yosemite Falls from the meadows down in the valley is stunning, and is always lovely to see. But when you get this, like, you know, on this trail, when you get a little bit closer to it, it really like showcases the force of the water and the height of the trail. Now obviously I'm gonna get like so close to it today. This is nothing compared to how close it gets when you get further up, and those of you that have done the trail before will know that. But even if you can just make it this far, like, I get it, sometimes people have like time restraints and stuff like that, so if you do need to come and see something but you don't have much time, just come this far, because this is amazing. But it really does get better, and it keeps getting better the higher up that you... Just the sheer size of this canyon alone is intimidating. Like, you feel so small next to this towering rock. So I feel like I've finally come to the wall of the canyon. It's a right slog. It was a little bit more intense coming up that last section. Also, it started to get more into the forest, so it was a lot darker and a bit more moist as well. Like, the leaves on the ground were very moist. It wasn't as dusty and sandy. And obviously I've come right up close now to Upper Yosemite Falls, and you can see all the snow and the ice, and here the sound of it was just so loud. It's really overcast today, and I'm really worried it's going to start raining, but luckily I have got a coat with me. But I was saying how good the hiking conditions were, but actually maybe it's not quite as good as I thought. But I'm 2 miles into the trail, so it's another mile probably up to the top, and then a half a mile out to the viewpoint. So I'm going to carry on as best I can, but I'm definitely ready for like a snack or something now. Boy, this is brutal, but it's so cool. So I'm slowly transitioning through a series of switchbacks to get up into the canyon. And as you can see, the trail is now a very low flowing waterfall This is nowhere near as bad as 2023, but still. Boy, this is kicking my ass today. But the views make it so worth it. I mean, once again, the falls is just in this canyon here, really close to it now. And look at that view of the valley and Half Dome. It's incredible. So you can see the stone granite trail, and it's going to switch back up in this section where it's a bit greener. And then once I get to the top, I should, in theory, start to see some snow. Three miles into the hike. I've been hiking for an hour and 45 minutes. And this last section is tough. It's very short, stony switchbacks, and it's completely exposed to the elements. So obviously today's overcast, but if you're doing this on a hot, sunny day, this is going to be very, very warm. There's no shade. But I'm really close to the top now, so I've just got to find that strength to keep on going. But yeah, this bit is hard. And I think, you know, one thing to bear in mind with these national park hikes is if they say it's strenuous, they're not saying that to give you like a confidence boost. They're saying that because it's strenuous, and not everyone will enjoy this hike because it is very steep and it will take people variable amounts of time. You'll see really fit people who do it in like 2 hours up, you know, run down. So don't compare yourself to other people, like hike your own hike. But it is very beautiful. It's very peaceful today. There's hardly anyone up here. It's so quiet, which is good. But I also want to have a nice photo at the top, and I feel like if there's no one there, I didn't bring a tripod, so my picture might not be the one today. But yeah, I am persevering and trying to just get my way up there. But yeah, I wouldn't say this is my favorite hike in Yosemite. I think it's really pretty and it's really beautiful, and it's a hike that like I love to do at this like early springtime because of the accessibility. But I do think I prefer hiking on the 4 mile for the valley, and obviously the mist trail, although the mist trail is crazy busy. But I think that this is definitely like a very good workout and a very good hike for views, and it's a little bit quieter than it is quieter than the mist trail. And especially if you're coming early in the season, this is the one. So yeah, anyway, I better stop talking and just keep hiking. Do my eyes deceive me, or is the sky starting to get blue? So I've climbed 3,200 feet today. My hood is a mess. Yeah, I've climbed 3,200 feet and I've just come to basically the snow line, and it's kind of like packed snow ice. And I tried to hike for a little bit without my spikes on, but it was just unnecessarily complicated, so I just thought I'd just stick my spikes on. That's why I brought them. And I do this a lot. Sometimes I'm like I have poles with me today as well, so I feel like, yeah, if you're gonna go to the trouble of carrying stuff, you might as well use it, you know? It's definitely like patchy though. There is sections, like now I've come to a section where there's a bit of regular ground, but I'm gonna keep my spikes on, I think, for the rest, unless it really does clear up. Just for easy life, basically. So this is actually the trail. Very easy to get confused with a waterfall. So I've come 3.2 miles from the valley this way. You can see the snow up here, and then we have a trail junction just up ahead. So if you carry on straight, then you will get to Eagle Peak in 2.8 miles, El Cap in 4.7, Yosemite Creek Campground in 6, and Tioga Road in 12. And then obviously the rest is kind of multi-day distances, but it's pretty snow packed up there. I actually read a trail review for El Capitan that someone had put on All Trails a few days ago, and I'm not selling it or endorsing it or anything, but All Trails is so useful. Whenever I am trying to decide what hike I want to do, it's just handy to like read reviews to see like what people have had in the previous, you know, days or weeks before your visit. Because I wanted to do El Capitan, but they were like, it's really snowy, and it's not very easy to find the trail. And I was like, I'm on my own, I don't really want to do that. So this one is definitely a good compromise. But I know from experience that it's this way, and there is a trail sign, but it's quite easy to miss. So just do bear that in mind. Now, I've also crossed this one, it's been quite treacherous before, but today it's not too bad, he says, as he tries to, yeah, I made it onto that log, nice and easy. Okay, so here's the trail sign that you're looking for. So Yosemite Falls is just 2.2 miles away, so not very far at all. Yosemite Point is 1 mile away, and then North Dome is 4.7. Now I've hiked to North Dome quite a lot, and if you want to see videos on North Dome, I do it from Tioga Road just because it's a much more enjoyable hike. That's a hell of a slog from the valley all the way up to North Dome and all the way back, so I wouldn't recommend doing it from the valley, but definitely do it from Tioga Road. And there's a video on this channel, I think there's a couple of videos on this channel, all about my adventures on North Dome, and the trail is just here, and you can see where those that came before have left markings in the snow. So there's another trail junction just here. So the overlook is clearly marked and is off in this clearly packed direction, and it's around a mile to Yosemite Point from here, which I'll do on the way back. But you don't want to miss the overlook. That's kind of like the best bit. So the reward has finally paid off and I've made it up here. The noise of the water is insane, but there's so much of it just tumbling over the edge. Absolutely amazing. Wow, so this is actually where the big waterfall pools where all that ice is, and then this is the lower falls just here, and you can just see Half Dome on the side there, Yosemite Point. Wow. So here at the top, it is so cool, so pretty. The views are absolutely insane. Absolutely love just sitting up here and taking it all in. Obviously, there's a few people coming up now, which is quite nice. So I managed to get some photos, which was really cool. And it was actually 2 Brits that took them for me. So yeah, there's a few of us out here. But I've still got these bloody spikes on, and I actually went flying earlier. Typical me. If you watch this channel, you know I fall over quite a lot and cut my finger. So good job I've got my first aid kit. But yeah, I've managed to stay up here for a little while, so I'm gonna start moving on now. But it's a really, really gorgeous and pretty area. So yeah, definitely recommend coming up. If you like the video so far, please hit like and subscribe. And I've got a lot more content from Yosemite this year, so stay tuned. Later on, I had this incredible encounter with a mama bear and her cub. Bears are my absolute favourite animal, and every time I see them, it's just such an incredible experience. And this is another reason that Yosemite is one of my favourite national parks. Here's some of the videos and footage that I had from my bear encounter.